Well, it was Halloween night when a driver called the Locksmith Road Service Dispatch Office complaining that he was locked out of his car. And the information was forwarded to a locksmith along with one more detail. The car was parked at a nudist colony. So, of course, the locksmith arrived in record time. But when he called the office later to give a report, he wasn't amused. Figures, he said, I finally get to go to a nudist colony and they're having a costume party. Okay, it's Halloween humor. Wah, wah. So happy almost Halloween. I noticed nobody came in their costumes today. That's cool. I just wanted to bring to our attention that we're still in this wonderful fall book study, highlighting the book by therapist, minister, author, poet, beautiful soul, Wayne Muller. How then shall we live? 4 questions that reveal the beauty and meaning of our lives. And I got to tell you, we have been having a very deep and wonderful Wednesday night book study. Haven't we? Those of you that have been there? It's just rich. And we just are delving in and just really looking at how the questions that he's asking and just the principles that he's teaching, how we can practice it in our life, how it really resonates for us. And so last week we talked here on Sunday morning about community. It's one of my favorite topics. Obviously, I like community. I've been hanging out in a church for a long time. And so what Wayne Muller talked about was the value of community and how it can support us in answering the question, who am I? You know, community at its very best is unconditionally loving and accepting. And I love that about community. And I don't know if you haven't gone to our website or looked at our little brochure in the lobby, one of our core values here at Unity of Gaithersburg is community. And what we talk about when we talk about community here, it's a safe harbor. It's a place where people can come and engage with their heart and serve and be seen for all that they are, all of our warts and wonderfulness, our personality selves, but most of all, our divinity. But what that takes from us is a willingness to be vulnerable. There's a certain vulnerability of being in community. And that's why when people come for the very first time, I get that it takes a lot of courage sometimes to walk into a community because everybody, knows everybody. But, really, we can be a part of community for a long time but not really allow ourselves to be seen. And what I love about what Wayne Muller talks about is our willingness to let ourselves belong and to truly be seen for our authentic selves. And what I love about community is that that's where transformation happens because, let me tell you, we can sit on our mountaintop or we can sit in our meditation chair and we can think, I am so chill. I love people. I am world peace. And then all it takes is to go get on the road or come and have a conversation with someone that has a different political view. And so that's when the rubber meets the road. And so I love community for the opportunity that it creates to have transformation happen in relationship. Because that's where it happens, folks. And what I love about this particular community and all Unity communities is that we have the foundation, the anchor of our spiritual teachings as a structure. We have it as a structure and an anchor for us to work things out amongst ourselves, in a way that comes from love. And I always encourage that. So if there's something that you have with someone in this community, I invite you to work it out with love in your heart, go direct, and use our principles as your guiding light in that conversation. Because to me, if we can't work it out in here, oh my, about out there. Right? Yeah, let's let community nurture us on our spiritual journey. So today, we get to delve into the second part of the book by Wayne Muller. And the question that he's asking is, what do I love? What do I love? So what do you love? And the questions that he asks that I really, really love are, what's at the center of your life? What's at the center of your life? Where are you giving attention? Where do you spend your attention and time? Because attention is the physical manifestation of love. That's the quote I wanted to make sure I said this morning. Attention is the physical manifestation of love. And I think about it every time I see Keith and Carrie out on the grounds, and they tend to our grounds with such love and caring because they planted these plants and they tend to them. Bless you. But it really is what we love. It's kind of like tending to a garden we've planted. We plant the seeds, we plant the plants. And if you're like me, you have to really remember to go out there and water them, because if you don't, they're really going to not do well. We have to feed and water what we love. And so what Wayne Muller asks are, as we look at what is receiving our attention and what is at the center of our lives, let us ask these questions. Are these the people and situations that can receive the gift of your life, your heart, and companionship? I'm going to ask that again. Okay, so as we look at what is receiving our time and our attention, are these the people and situations that can receive the gift of your life, your heart, and companionship? Can it be received? Are these the places you would intentionally choose to offer your love and devotion? Why or why not? Wayne Muller says, with our every action, word, relationship, and commitment, we slowly and inevitably become what we love. Whatever we are giving our time and attention to is what we will eventually become. Is that what we want? Yeah. I think often in our human condition that we give our time and attention to things that we feel we're supposed to love, that we should love. A relationship maybe that no longer uplifts us, a job that doesn't inspire us, an activity that just because we've been doing it forever and people expect us to do it, but it no longer lifts us up. We've outgrown it. How does that feel? Often bereft of joy and aliveness and connection and fulfillment and inspiration, our obligations and our fear of disappointing and walking away from something can be scary. But because of these obligations and expectations, we can lose sight of what we truly love. And Wayne Muller shared a beautiful story about a woman named Janet. And Janet grew up in an alcoholic family. Her father was an alcoholic. And so she took on the mantle of making sure everything in her family was taken care of. She had to clean up the messes. And so she gets married, she has 5 children, she has a demanding job, and she's feeling overwhelmed because, once again, she is taking care of everybody. And she's become really exhausted and resentful of her responsibilities. Her playful, creative, artistic spirit has been completely thwarted, just like it was when she was a little girl. And she decided, I just want my life to be more vibrant and alive. I want to heal this. And so she decided to start working with Wayne Muller in his therapist role on healing the pain from the past and how it was impacting her family. So Janet began to listen more to her creative impulses. And she wanted to be more creative, but how in the world could she have time to do this? She was already overwhelmed. But she told Wayne Muller that she would try because she realized that if she kept doing what she was doing, nothing would be different. And so she ended up signing up for a watercoloring class. And as she described her painting with Wayne, he said she just lit up. She shone. And he's described her paintings as playful and bright and rich with passionate colors. And Janet said that when she was painting, she felt something deep in her body, a joy, a happiness she didn't know she had. And regardless of whether her paintings were great, she loved doing them so much. She would lock herself in a room and dare anybody to come in for 2 hours. She had so much fun. And she started to realize that the more she painted, the more she shifted her awareness. She no longer felt the need to be that hypervigilant daughter of an alcoholic that needed to take care of everyone and everything. And now she saw through the lens of a painter. Instead of always watching for responsibility, she started watching for color and texture and lines and shapes. She was now seeking what she loved, and the beautiful thing is that as she sought more of what she loved and that creative expression, she started to tap into what was rich and beautiful about her life, about her family, about her work. You know, I love this story. And you have to forgive me this morning because I have a little catch in my throat because of the week. I'm feeling kind of, like tender this morning. And I see it in your faces too. So this week, I've really been working with this whole idea of what I love. And I curled up in my meditation chair, and I just got my little journal out, and I started writing down what I love. Just what I love, what I love, what I love. And it was amazing how much I love things. I mean, you guys, I love the ocean, and I love daisies, and I love the sound a cat makes when he meows and yawns at the same time. I love Rachmaninoff, Concerto No. 2. It turns my heart inside out. I just started to write down these things that I love, and I started to get all weepy, and I felt this really deep, visceral feeling in my heart. It was like, ugh, I love it so much. As my friend Amy and I say, I love it hard. And so this week, I was on the phone with a dear, dear friend who's going through a challenge. And I love this person a lot. We're really close. And so I started sharing with her about this whole exercise of what I love. Always kind of in the back of my mind, maybe this would support her in some way. And so we talked on the phone, and then as a way to end the conversation, it was like, well, I need to go now. I'm kind of tired, yeah. We decided together that we were going to end our conversation declaring 3 things that we loved. And at first it was just like, I love this, this, and this. And it's like, oh no, we're gonna really, why do we love them? And so as I listened to her share, it was like, oh my God. It was so awesome just to hear what was in her heart. And then she listened to me. And by the end of the conversation, it was like, oh, it was so precious to witness what someone loves, to be a part of that sharing. And I just thought, this is what the world gets to be like, folks. You know, our world is looking and feeling and acting a little crazy right now. What if we could just center ourselves and put in the center of our life and give our attention and give our time and give our energy to what we love? Because what I noticed in that sharing with my friend is that as she was sharing, I felt that visceral response that I heard, the passion and the love that she was sharing. And it was like I just felt such a deep and profound gratitude for my life. And the beautiful thing about that, folks, is that when we get in touch with what we really, 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 really love, like, you cannot help but get that on people around you. You can't help it. Because you're full, you're overflowing, you can't contain it. That's the beautiful thing about love. When it comes from your heart and you're really connected with what you love, it can't help but flow out. And it gives you an opportunity to share it and then receive it. So, it might feel like a selfish practice, but it is the farthest thing from that. Right now, let us take time to center in what we love. Create time and space for it in our lives. We're so busy in this area. My gosh, we've always got calendar issues. We've got this to do and this to do and this to do. Let me tell you, there's nothing more important than putting in your calendar, spending time with XYZ that I love, listening to music that I love, having a great cup of coffee, whatever it is that you love, put it in your life. This week, let's spend time focusing on what we really love and asking ourselves, what's in the center of my life? Am I loving my drama more than I'm loving my spouse? What do I really love? Because whatever we really love is where we're putting our attention and our energy and our focus. And how's that working for us? Is it lifting us up or is it depleting us? This is the opportunity that we have. And folks, I'm telling you what, and I mean it, there is enough love in this world. There's enough love in this room to transform the world. And when we express it, people get it, they feel it, and they want more. I want to be around that person. That person loves their life. There's nothing more beautiful. And what a great gift for us to give. Okay, scratch a minister, bleed a sermon. I'm going to stop now. I could just keep going. Because this is so, folks, the world is calling. The world is calling us to know and claim and express what we love. Let's do it. Let's be it. Let's affirm together. I give my time and attention to what I love. I feel vibrantly alive and expand my ability to give and receive love and appreciation. Amen.